Hello everyone, Lug71 here. I am Lugnuts. So today I thought what we might start is a mission editor series for beginners. And what I'd like to do is make a number of videos that are a little bit shorter, because if I tried to do it all in one, it might be an hour or two long. So I'm going to teach some simple tasks in the mission editor, and we'll make a number of videos and cover a whole lot of different things. So let's get going off to the mission editor. All right. So when you find yourself on the main screen of the mission editor, um, we want to select create new mission, and that'll bring us right here to our uh, coalition screen. Here we can assign different countries, either neutral, red, or blue. Uh, Up here we have presets, and for today, we're probably just going to use modern. We have World War II presets, and then we have custom presets where we can place any country in any coalition that we want to place. Now, we're going to choose modern today, and the only addition I'm going to make, and I always do this, it's a habit, uh, this here, the USAF aggressors, I always put them on the blue side. That's a big help when you have people, if you make a multiplayer mission, uh, and you have people uh, that have the red aircraft, and they're going to want to fly with you in multiplayer. That's an easy way to get some red aircraft on the blue side so that people can choose those to fly. So it's not going to come into play in the mission that we're making here today, but I'm just in the habit of doing it uh, for making multiplayer missions. I just happen to do it every time. Okay. Now, we click OK, and here we are in the Marianas Islands. First thing we need to go over is what are all these buttons over here? Well, top button, that's create a new mission. Next one is to open a file or open an existing mission that you have to edit. Here we can save. Now here is for us to enter information for a mission briefing. Here we have our weather, and uh, see we have presets for clouds and weather. Okay. And here we're gonna do some of this. This is where we enter conditions for our triggers and make things happen. Here is mission goals. We're probably not going to touch that. Battlefield commanders, we're not going to touch that. Here on this screen we have mission options, and we'll go over some of that. Now this bottom one here, as I said, brings our coalitions back up. If we want to move some countries around, we can do that. All right. Now here is where we get to our units. Here we can add or modify plane groups. This one's for helicopters. This one's for ships. This is for ground units. And here are templates. Now templates, there are some included, I think. But typically we will make our own templates, and I'll show you how to make that. What that does is if you have a particular group of units that you like to make, um, and it has all kinds of different units in it. You only have to make it once, and you can save it as a template. Then you can place that unit as a group anytime you like, anywhere you like. So this next one here is we can add static objects to the game. They have no AI. They don't do anything. Basically, they're targets or just there to look nice. All right. So initial point object, we're going to do that. Bullseyes, we'll deal with those later. Here is trigger zones, and we're going to make one of these a little bit later. It's a zone that we can program it so if a certain unit or a unit from a coalition goes through a certain zone, we can trigger an event to happen. Okay, here is view a unit list. We don't have any units in right now, but if we did, it would bring a screen up down here, and it would you could scroll through the units. Uh, this red X would remove any group or object that you have selected. And here we have map options, what it's going to show. Usually don't ever mess with that. But down here we have a measuring tool. And what that'll do is with the left I didn't do it right. Okay. So we click and we can drag it there and let it up, and it'll give us a range. So that line's 225 miles long, and we drew it in a direction of 91 degrees. So we want to go back the other way, we can do it like that, or we can do this and drag it around. Okay. So that's that. File options, pretty much the same as we went over on the other side with the file commands over here with these buttons. Views, um, depending on where you are and what units you want to use, you can have metric or imperial. And we have options for different icons for NATO and Russia. Edit. Now, these all have buttons over here uh, to perform different things. Flight. Once we fly, or I'm sorry, finish editing, we can actually fly it from here to test it out. Campaign. We have the ability to build campaigns in here. Uh, mission options, map options. Okay. We can generate a mission from in here. And over here, an encyclopedia and some credits. One last thing before we move on. In your settings for DCS, you'll find an option to turn auto backup on and set a certain time where it automatically backs up your work. I have it on. I have mine set to 5 minutes. I typically like to back up a little bit more than that. I just got into a habit of doing that. Um, However you decide you'd like to do it, doesn't matter. If you want to do it manually, that's cool. But I would say this, make sure you back up early and make sure you back up often. I don't have a whole lot of problems in the mission editor, but you can be sure when I do have a problem and it crashes, that's exactly the time I waited 15 or 20 minutes to save my game, and it'll bite you. So, that being said, we will move on. Okay. Down here at the bottom of the screen, we have the file that we're working on. Now, we have a new mission. We haven't named it anything yet, but that's where the name of your mission will be. Down here, we have uh, position, latitude, and longitude, and that is a position of where your cursor is. Or if you have a unit selected, it can give the location of that unit. Um, this is the altitude where the cursor is. Okay. And down here we have different map options. Right now we're in an altitude view. Let me zoom in so you can see. You see we have some contour lines here on the terrain. That'll help us to see where we're placing units and if there's much of an altitude change. Here's a satellite view. I do end up doing most of my work in this one. And over here, a map view. And you can see it has a little bit of everything in it, and it's kind of busy. I don't typically use this sort of map when I'm editing. So we'll go to satellite. Now here, we want to have this checked. If that's checked, it'll actually physically allow us to see the units that we place. You'll see them later when we place them. If we don't have that checked, we're just going to have a blue or a red box uh, for where the unit is. I like to be able to see it. I want to be able to see where it's facing, um, just how it looks, so I can get my units placed right. Now, what's this? I don't remember what this is. Historical list of units. I think that's to be used if you want to use a list of units that are uh, accurate for the time period that you are making the mission. Okay. Okay, so we're going to cut this off here for part one. Um, Join me soon for part two, coming very quickly, probably the same day. So until next time, I've been Lug71, and I'll see you later.